Hi, this is Keena Kim with PivotalDiscovery.com. Today we're here with Dean Gonsowski, who is the Vice President of Professional Services with Clearwell Systems. And he's going to share some thoughts and tips on early case assessment. Dean, thank you for joining us.
Okay, thanks for having me. Yeah, we're doing a session tomorrow on early case assessment with Patrick Good and Laura Kivy and a few other folks. And I think there's a couple interesting trends around early case assessment as we wanted to share. One, I think, universally people like the notion of early case assessment. It's been shown to have positive value on almost every type of matter that you use it on, really because it's helping meet the requirements of the federal rules in terms of being ready early for the meeting for conferences. But it also gets you a better sense from a budgetary standpoint and also the ability to assess the case facts so that you can go into your litigation really understanding much more about the information, the evidence as you move forward. So I think that it's been very well received. I think a couple things that are interesting about it, sort of maybe myths and misconceptions. One is that it's all about the tools. And so, Clearwell provides a tool that allows people to do early case assessment. But fundamentally, we are seeing that there really is a need for the right people to do that in terms of their background, their understanding of the tools, and then also the processes. So your ability to do things in a repeatable fashion that's ultimately defensible. Because at the end of the day, if you're called to the carpet to testify about how you did what you did, that process is very important. So we're really seeing the clients, both enterprises and law firms, sort of try to wrestle with that balance of the people, the processes, and the technology. The other, I think, is the notion around having to expend some level of energy, time, and dollars up front in the process. And attorneys historically want to wait as long as they can. And so what you end up seeing is this sort of very slow ramp and then a very big curve right at the end of the process. And so with an early case assessment, I think you see a little bit more money spent up front, but it typically flattens out over time. And so there really is a benefit to doing it that way. But there's a change in the philosophy around that. So you need to get the inside counsel and the corporations and law firms sort of all on the same page that it does make some sense to front load some of those costs to understand the matter, understand the data, and that will ultimately help you plan and do some of the early case assessment fundamentals.
So now with the early case assessment, Dean, are you finding that there's a particular range in savings?
I would say what we would see typically is anywhere from 20 to 40% just in the whole process, right? You're going to have savings all the way from your actual e-discovery costs, your processing costs, because you're going to get a better sense in terms of right-sizing the data collection, the number of the custodians. But then you also get incremental downstream savings in terms of your ability to staff the review, settle cases that are going to be problematic, and you should settle them sooner than later. So it's really significant, and I think it also goes to the notion that you'll see the most dramatic savings in really big matters. And so people tend to equate early case assessment with terabyte plus matters. And that's great, and it certainly does have a lot of impact there. But even on small matters where you can have a lot of transactional costs, even HR or other matters, the ability to go look very quickly at the information can save you percentage-wise even more on those matters. The dollar amount won't be as big because there's a smaller dollar matter, but I think that can be a big benefit as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Dean.
All right. Thanks for having me.